This boy right here, this is where it all began. At least that's what I can remember. I must have been 5 years old when I got this X-Cop from the Haunted Human series of the real Ghostbusters, the Kenner toy line. And there it all began. But what began, you might ask? Well, my devoted fandom for Ghostbusters, as you could have already guessed. In this video I want to talk about my love for the franchise. Ghostbusters is one of the things that I carry with me since I was a young child. And funny enough, I'm not very outgoing about it, so a lot of people in my near surroundings don't even know this about me. But, you know, I thought it's such a big part of me that it deserves its own video about it. And the reason I'm making this video now is because, of course, we're on the verge of the Ghostbusters Afterlife release. I already bought my ticket for Wednesday the 17th of November when it will pre-release here in the Netherlands. And if you are interested, you can also find my reaction videos for the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailers right somewhere here. So, who are you gonna call? So let's start at the beginning. Back in the early 90s, here in the Netherlands, the real Ghostbusters aired on Saturday mornings as part of a kids television show called Telekids, a very popular show where a lot of people of my generation grew up with. At the end of Telekids, you got several cartoons, of which Ghostbusters was one of them. And back in the day, it made such an impact on me that I can really recall one of the episodes. The one where Egon turned into an evil chicken, for instance, or the one with the boogeyman. I haven't seen the movies at that time. I didn't even know they existed yet. The real Ghostbusters series introduced me to the Ghostbusters universe that at that time only existed out of 2 movies, a cartoon series and a toy line. I can also remember that when my parents showed me the Slimer bit from the first movie when I was about 8 years old, it scared me so much that they actually had to shut it off. But nevertheless, I had posters, toys and listened to the Ray Parker song over and over again on a cassette tape I recorded from a radio broadcast. Yeah, I'm starting to feel old now. Even up until this point, I'm not sure why it stuck on me, why this franchise got me mesmerized. The combination of humor and scary stuff might have been the magic cocktail, and paranormal stuff always attracted me in a weird way. And as a kid, I actually believed in ghosts. Also the fact that there are no superheroes. Just 4 guys running a business but growing out to be heroes in their own right is something I guess I could relate to. As a kid I never really fitted in any group. I've been bullied a lot and just wanted to fit in. They combine all of these aspects, doing something no one can relate to. No one backed them up, no one believed them, but they ultimately fought the ghosts and they became the heroes. It's where it's, for me personally, still stands for up until this day. After Ghostbusters 1 and 2, the real Ghostbusters cartoon series and the corresponding Kenner toy line, it became kind of silent around Egon, Ray, Peter and Winston. Of course, you had the Extreme Ghostbusters series in the late 90s, but that one never got to me, you know, so I won't go on to that one in this video. When I grew older, it became more and more clear that Ghostbusters became something of the past. There wasn't going to be a 3rd movie, and we just had to live with that. You know, we had to live with the memories of Ghostbusters and that it would slowly die out with my generation. Until Ghostbusters, the video game, was announced in late 2008. It looked as if we finally got a new story, and I just hoped it would deliver. But delivering it did. It was the 3rd movie we waited for all these years. Even up until now, I still play the game, at least once a year. Now, of course, as the remastered edition for the Nintendo Switch. And I also watch the movies at least once a year, because, you know, that's how it goes with classics. After the amazing video game, it became silent again around the Ghostbusters franchise. When, suddenly, in 2014, Harold Ramis died. My hopes for anything related to Ghostbusters actually died with him. That's just how I felt at the time. Such a sad thing. He wasn't with us anymore. The end of an era. He was together with Dan Aykroyd, the heart of the Ghostbusters. So there really wasn't any chance that any new movie would be made up until this point. And funny enough, I started researching Harold Ramis' work as a writer, director and actor after he passed away. Something I've never done up until that point. I, of course, found out that he wasn't only Egon, he was a comedic genius and a very talented filmmaker. It therefore caught me by surprise that in 2015 a new Ghostbusters movie was announced. I must admit that I actually felt a little bit angry at the time. I thought Harold Ramis died and now a third movie is possible all of a sudden? My mixed feelings about this new movie got even worse when it became clear that this movie wasn't going to take part in the known universe. Now I will skip all the hatred and backlash about this movie and that it actually got ultimately. Funny enough, back in the day I wasn't that skeptic about it. I was just glad that there was a new Ghostbuster movie going to be made. And I figured, let them prove themselves. You know, if it's a good movie, it's a good movie, and if it's bad, it's bad. But it turned out to be kind of okay, just another American comedy with too much dialogue, too little physical comedy, or even any ingredients the original movie became so known and loved for. Like practical effects and good written character backstories, a lot of overblown CGI and a thin story trying to redo the original. A shame. Then, in 2019, it became clear that Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son, you know, the director of the first two movies, was going to make the third installment of the original, yes, the original Ghostbusters universe. A teaser got online that really hit the right spots, even with the original soundtrack under it. Of course, as we all know, the COVID epidemic pushed the release date forward from 2020 till November 2021. But after all the trailers Sony released in the meantime, it seems that we, as Ghostbusters fans, finally get the movie we have been longing for over 30 years. But before you're going to run to the cinema to see this movie, check my Ghostbusters Afterlife reaction trailer or other videos on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and as always, this was the Cross Portal. Don't cross the streams.